Just Wendell, in a game like this, like when there's a buzzer beater, like how much do you know that the game wasn't lost on that buzzer beater? That's what you guys talked about.
Yeah, it's a make or miss league. I think we did a solid job of taking care of the ball, 13 turnovers. Could have cut them down a little bit more, but I think we played really solid defense. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the stats and then just the feel of the game. He just happened to make a lucky shot down the stretch. So yeah, we can look at the game, look back, and a lot of things could have been done differently. But sometimes that's just what kind of happens in the NBA.
They hit a game winner, or the go-ahead, I suppose,
Mm-hmm.
in Mexico City.
Mm-hmm.
The most recent game was in overtime. This one tonight, the game winner. These battles with the Hawks, like what can your team take away from these three different games?
I don't know. Maybe they got our game circled the on the calendar. Unfortunately, I didn't play in the game in Mexico, so I didn't know what the atmosphere was like. But or the one where we played them at home. But just being there, I feel like they play really good basketball. As a unit, I give them a lot of credit. Trey, DeJounte, from top to bottom. I feel like everybody kind of knows their role and they just play it really well. I just feel like, I may be wrong. Like, don't quote me on it, but they may just be ready every time they play us.
What did you make of playing alongside Jonathan Isaac? And the amount of time, the little amount of time he sees, and the impact he makes. Like,
Yeah.
sense of difference when he's on the floor.
Oh, absolutely. JR is a player or a friend I've had for a very long time, even before the NBA. And the way he approaches the game is a little bit differently than a lot of other players, in the sense where he's doing all the little things. We know how good he is offensively. Um, our team does. Me specifically, like I've seen him go and get 20, 30 balls before coming to the league, but he understands that he has other gifts that he's using to help this team win. So I definitely give him just a lot of credit for just taking his role and excelling in it, but understanding that he's a very well-rounded player, and he's someone who makes a difference as soon as he checks into the game.
The second half of the season now, obviously there's still a long way to go, but preparing for a playoff series, preparing for kind of those do or die games, how important are those kind of margins, limiting turnovers in key stretches, finishing quarters? How important are those to the ultimate success of this?
They're very important. The fact that we're just in these games is just getting us prepared. Like those small margins. Like now that I'm looking at it, we went 72% from the line as a team. Like we can't do that. Going into if we make it to the playoffs, when we make it to the playoffs, like and we're in those moments, like free throws matter, the amount of turnovers matter, offensive decisions matter, defensive decisions matter. Like every little thing matters. So I'm kind of happy that we're in these situations, early on. So when we get to those games in the playoffs when it really really matters, we'll be prepared.
Throughout this road trip, you held the opponent well below their season average in scoring, tonight 106 for the Hawks. What does that say about this team defensively at the halfway mark of the year?
I think we've just established our identity as a defensive team. We hang our hat on the defensive end. We understand that defense travels. Sometimes offensively, we may make shots, we may miss shots, but one thing that we've taken a lot of pride in is just being able to stop other teams. So, the offense will come. We still got some growing to do on that end, in my opinion. But I think defensively, we're one of the most elite teams in the league, and our goal is just to showcase that every night, no matter what happens offensively.
I know it came in a losing effort tonight, but you played really well out there tonight.
Yeah.
Active on the offensive glass, getting a lot of shots and quality looks.
Yep.
How was your game progressing as you kind of came back from this injury, really getting back into the rhythm of things?
It feels good just to be back out there. Fortunately, I found my groove offensively, but just to be out there with my teammates, just helping them win, helping them do whatever I can to help this team win. And fortunately, it's been scoring. I've taken a lot of steps and just getting my swagger back from last year. I got hurt just 5 games into the season. I never really been myself. And I think these last 2 or 3 games, I'm starting to kind of feel. Get my swagger back, like I was saying. So, yeah, that's really all is to it for sure. Yeah.
Good. All right, thank you guys.
Yep, appreciate